Welcome to the Blue Collar Tutor Test Preparation Series for the New York City Fire Department S-12 Certificate of Fitness for Citywide Sprinkler Systems. This series will provide you with a convenient review of the material for the written exam. This preparation course includes information taken from the 2008 New York City Fire Code, Chapter 9, Fire Department Rules, Chapter 9, and the National Fire Protection Agency, Standard 25, 2002 edition, for inspection, testing, and maintenance of water-based fire protection systems. It is critical that you understand this material to help increase your chances of passing the exam. A transcript of this material is provided for free by the New York City Fire Department. See the link in the description below to upload the transcript and additional reference guides that you'll need to familiarize yourself with for the exam. Instructions on the application process to register for the exam are also provided via the link below. If you haven't already, it is recommended to watch the brief overview video in this series at least once before moving on to the subsequent volumes. After an initial run-through of the entire series, refer back to these volumes as often as you need until you feel confident with the material. Once you've familiarized yourself with all of the material in this course, continue on to the practice test sections at the end of the series. There you will find over 200 questions to test your knowledge of the material. Updates. 14. Local Law 58 of 2009. Fire suppression piping components as required by Local Law 58/2009. Note: only existing visible piping shall be identified as required. When ceilings are removed during renovations, any existing visible system piping shall be identified and painted. Standpipe and sprinkler feed mains. The portion of the standpipe or sprinkler system piping that supplies water to one or more standpipe or sprinkler risers. Standpipe and sprinkler cross connections. The portion of the standpipe or sprinkler system that interconnects the feed mains and risers to the fire department connections. Standpipe and sprinkler risers. The vertical portion of the system piping that delivers the water supply for hose connections and sprinklers on standalone as well as combined systems, vertically from floor to floor. Fire department connections. The portion of the standpipe or sprinkler system that is connected to the fire department pumper connection and supplies the standpipe and sprinkler feed mains, cross connections, and risers. All handles of indicating valves. These handles control the water supplies to the standpipe and sprinkler systems. Street water supply. The portion of system piping connected to the discharge of the water meter to the main sprinkler control valves. All pipe material identification information, if present, shall not be painted. Fire suppression piping components not required to be identified as required by Local Law 58/2009. Fire department hose valve bodies and handles, indicating control valve bodies, check valves, jockey pump control valves, trim, test, and drain valve handles. Standpipe, branch piping. The portion of the piping system connecting one or more hose valve stations. Sprinkler cross mains. The portion of the piping system connecting supplying the branch lines either directly or through risers. Sprinkler feed mains. The portion of the piping system downstream of a sectional or floor control valve supplying cross mains. Sprinkler branch piping. The portion of the piping system to which the sprinkler heads or nozzles are directly connected to. For more info, refer to New York City Building Code, Local Law 58/2009. Standpipes and sprinklers. New safety regulations. New standpipe and sprinkler piping laws went into effect in 2010. Building owners and contractors must be sure their properties and projects comply with these new local laws. The Buildings Department participated in the multi-agency advisory group that proposed these new safety standards. To learn more, read Strengthening the Safety, Oversight and Coordination of Construction, Demolition and Abatement Operations, available at nyc.gov/buildings. Color coding. Local Law 58 of 2009, effective the 2nd of March 2010. Existing buildings must comply by the 2nd of June 2010. All exposed standpipes and sprinkler piping must be painted red. The law outlines specific exceptions, such as branch piping. All buildings, no matter the size or occupancy, must comply with these new requirements. Dedicated standpipe valve handles must be painted red. Combination standpipe valve handles must be painted yellow. Dedicated sprinkler valve handles must be painted green. Cutting and capping. Local Law 60 of 2009, effective the 2nd of March 2010. Permits are required to cut and cap standpipes or sprinklers. Authorized licensees. Only licensed master plumbers or licensed master fire suppression piping contractors may cut and cap standpipes or sprinklers during demolition. Local law incorporates Technical Policy and Procedure Notice 3 of 2007, which became codified in Local Law 60 of 2009. For demolitions and gut rehabilitations, a registered design professional must have a variance to remove damaged or inoperable sprinklers. This filing must include a damage report and an explanation why the system can't be restored. The design profession must first file the variance with the fire department and have FDNY approval before filing it with the buildings department. Color coding certification. Buildings under construction. The special inspector will confirm compliance before the walls are enclosed. Existing buildings. Owners of buildings with exposed sprinkler piping and standpipes must comply and hire one of 4 types of contractors to certify the color coding. Licensed master plumbers, licensed master fire suppression piping contractors, registered design professionals, or people with the appropriate fire department certificate of fitness. Proof of color coding certification. The color coding certification must be kept on the premises at all times for buildings and fire department inspection. Visit nyc.gov/buildings for the certification form, available online. 15. Obstruction investigation. The presence of obstructions in sprinkler systems shall be checked every 5 years by opening a flushing connection at the end of one main per system. One sprinkler head per system toward the end of one branch line shall also be removed. This is done for investigating for the presence of foreign organic or inorganic material. Sources of obstructions to piping include but are not limited to pipe scale, careless installation or repair, raw water sources, biological growth, sprinkler calcium carbonate deposits, and MIC, or microbiologically influenced corrosion. Inorganic material would include, but not be limited to, silt, sand, rocks, gravel, and construction debris. Organic material includes wood, microbes, and zebra mussels. While zebra mussels are not reported in the New York City area, the Hudson River contains this predator, and it is possible that contamination may occur in New York City's upstate water supplies. When tubercules and slime are found during the investigation, they shall be tested for MIC. An obstruction investigation shall also be performed whenever the following conditions exist, such as pinhole leaks, a record of broken public water mains in the vicinity, foreign material and water discharged during drain tests, or plugging of an inspector's test valve connection. A complete list of system conditions requiring obstruction investigation are listed in Chapter 13 and Annex D of the National Fire Protection Association No. 25, 2002 edition. Chapter 16 is photographic reference of the various sprinkler heads, with some additional hardware used in sprinkler systems. Refer to pages 81 through 89 of the Fire Department's transcript. Lastly, the temperature ratings classifications and color coding chart will be provided when taking this test, but it is important to cover. Sprinklers shall have their frame arms, deflector, coating material, or liquid bulb colored in according to the following table. Temperature ratings classifications and color coding. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 100 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 135 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of ordinary, with a frame color code of uncolored or black. The glass bulb colors would be orange or red. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 150 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 175 to 225 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of intermediate, with a frame color code of white, the glass bulb colors would be yellow or green. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 225 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of high, with a frame color code of blue, the glass bulb color would be blue. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 300 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 325 to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of extra high, with a frame color code of red, the glass bulb color would be purple. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 375 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 400 to 475 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of very extra high, with a frame color code of green, The glass bulb color would be black. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 475 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 500 to 575 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification of ultra-high, with a frame color code of orange, the glass bulb color would also be black. For a maximum ceiling temperature of 625 degrees Fahrenheit, with a temperature rating of 650 degrees Fahrenheit, and a temperature classification also of ultra-high, with a frame color code of orange, the glass bulb color would also be black. See page 28 in the New York Fire Department transcript for a printable chart. It is highly recommended that you print out a physical copy of the chart to use when taking the practice exams. Replicating as much of the actual exam materials as possible will better prepare you for the test and will ensure that you can complete the exam in the allotted time. This concludes Volume 10 and completes the test preparation series for the New York City Fire Department S-12 Certificate of Fitness for Citywide Sprinkler Systems. I hope that the audio transcriptions in this series have helped you to better prepare for the exam. Repeat each chapter as often as you need until you feel confident with the material. When you are ready, proceed to the practice exams. Post any follow-up questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to stay current on updates to existing exams and to be notified of new test preparation content. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like. Best of luck on your exam. Let me know how you did. Post your test scores in the comment section. Thank you for watching.